we give the Eastern time because I don't know what East Coasters are pretentious, and we like to make sure. I'm not all of them. I should not say that because actually I have an East Coaster or two who are going to be on the show today, and some of you guys are. But you guys know, you guys have New York, so you get to be, you know, the gauge by which we all subtract or add our time zone. So 3 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. Let's Livestream is here. Where is here? You may be asking. 2 places that you can be on Let's Livestream. We have a hashtag Let's Livestream, and that works great on Twitter. So we have a Twitter conversation that happens this entire hour, and all you got to do is go to Twitter and type in the hashtag Let's Livestream, all one word. And I see some folks from Chat Snap, which is the one right before this one, coming on to here. Joe Wilson TV and Joanne Craw. Hello, darlings. Welcome to Let's Livestream. So again, Twitter is the heart and soul of this chat. It's where it started, it's where it finishes, it's where it perpetuates. This is where we hang out each week on Twitter. But you know, it's a live stream too, right? So we tend to also like to live stream this thing, and we do that from Periscope. So if you guys go to letslivestream.live, I know there's a lot of lives in there, but that'll actually take you to the Periscope account for Let's Livestream, which is where you're going to see our faces and stuff like that. Hello. So what I'm doing is getting my crazy eyes on, not as much as I used to, believe me, but I'm watching Periscope and I'm watching Twitter. I see Danica Woolley is on Twitter as well. Hello. And Danica is also in Periscope. See, this is what we do, guys. Hardly anybody uses one screen or one device anymore. We're all around. Kami Sutra is in Periscope too. That's awesome. He won a ticket last week to Social Media Day Denver. And then Cammy on the couch became a hashtag. So we're going to see if that keeps on. I don't know if he's going to be able to use my couch, y'all. We'll find out. But all that said, each week at this hour, you can participate either on Twitter and or Periscope. And we try to incorporate all those comments and have fun and talk to awesome guests and stuff like that. Now, you guys may or may not know this, but I don't do this show by myself. God, no. Because if I did, and I used to, was nothing like this. It's me just kind of like, hey, let's hammer out some tweets. Hey, let's be on Periscope. And it's really evolved since then. And so what I'd like to do is bring on at least one and eventually 2 of the power team members that make this show happen awesomely every week. They're the people who make all these awesome graphics and make me appear in this little box that is really cool with the whole rules and how to play on Let's Livestream, and then like bring our guests in and show graphics and show your tweets on Periscope, which by the way, totally tweet, guys. Tweet with the hashtag Let's Livestream. You might see your tweet on the Periscope broadcast. Awesome sauce. So what I'd like to do is, and say hi to Sabrina as well. I see her on Periscope too. Hello, guys. I want to bring in at least, look, I'm just bringing him in right now. Bring in, this is Jonathan.
Wow.
This is Jonathan Tripp and Jennifer Nelson, and they are Vitmug, and I love that you guys are on screen with me today.
Yay.
We don't do this very often, do we?
We don't do this very often. We don't do it enough, don't you think?
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's got to push the buttons behind the scenes. I'm just saying. Somebody.
And it's not me.
I'm glad your hands are free, Jonathan. Jonathan's like, I'm free. I'm good. I don't have to do anything.
That's what he does.
I could drink my coffee.
Jonathan drinks coffee on live video like nobody else.
I don't know that I believe it's always coffee.
Jonathan,
that's
is
a
it
really
coffee?
good question. What's in the mug?
Great. Now he's thought of a whole new Instagram storyline.
What's in the Vit mug? That is.
I know what's in the Vit mug.
Do you?
I do.
No, you don't. You just asked. It was rhetorical.
No, well, that's not the Vit mug. The Vit mug is orange. The Vit mug, I say, from my perspective, has wine in it. But that's just me.
Well, by the way, Chris Strub is in the chat on Twitter. He said he can see you, Jen.
Yeah.
He sees you. And also Jonathan and Terry Johnson, Webgirl TJ is in Twitter as well. Cammy, you're so nasty. He called it a Johnny sandwich because you're between the two of us. You know, whatevs.
No,
wait, well, could we both like? Wait, am I looking the right way? Let me kiss Jonathan.
Jonathan, I fear Holly.
Oh, I do too. It was a platonic kiss, by the way. Joe's asking if there are vitamins in the Vit mug.
Yes. Wine has
Vitamins.
vitamins.
Coffee's a bean.
Coffee's a bean. So there's fruits. At least fruits in there.
You guys are getting people wondering, like, if with chatting to each other in Periscope with their other live stream partner about when they consolidate their names, what would it be? Because you guys just kind of became
It's
Jonathan.
like a name generator. Yes.
It is. It's like Glee. Did you guys ever watch Glee?
Yes.
Great.
So, live stream name generator.
We are really actually getting on to this is like a paradigm shift in, I think, all of our this episode.
Okay. It is.
Right. And we do have, all the questions are, we have them scheduled out. They're coming out. And I don't know if one of them already has launched, but the first question, you guys will tell me, because I do have Periscope up here and I try to stay up with Twitter, but it's harder to read.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do you want to just hop right into the questions? Because
let's do. I haven't seen the question go out yet, but I've got and guys, just FYI, so Let's Livestream, the handle is tweeting out the questions that Jonathan's asking today. Again, like he just said, paradigm shift. It's kind of weird because he's the one asking me the questions.
We're switching it up today, and we'll get into a little bit more of the how and the why and the who, now, what for.
Yes.
But first question, just so that we can get it right off, and all these questions, these really are for everybody to answer.
That's true.
And we will do our best to kind of keep up with the chat. I will kind of look back and forth between it. But question number one, as it's written, what, Rachel, are some of the projects that you currently have going on?
Hang on. I just have to go. Jen is living for this moment that I get to react to the awesome graphics. I love this. So cool. God, you guys, are you loving this? I love the that is such a great refresh. Oh my God, I'm loving it. New graphics. And Sabrina's like, oh, so let me just experience that moment for a minute. Whew, that's amazing. So projects, and yes, I tweeted this out too. I got a lot of crap going on. You guys may or may not know, I have my own business called Really Social, and it's a social media marketing and training and consulting and everything firm out of Denver. I've been Miss Saleswoman lately. I've got a lot of clients coming on, so trying to onboard them. And by onboarding, I mean, we've got all the things we set up for that. I don't know if you guys know, I don't just do this live stream show. I do another one, at least one, it's called Business Unusual, and we broadcast that from the BeLive.tv Facebook page, along with like 3 other shows they're doing. They're like becoming their own media company practically. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a lot. And Jonathan, you know that about too. I mean, you've got shows going on, so it's not like I'm the only one who's live streaming more than once a week, right?
And it's good to do it.
I
think it's good to live stream more than once a week. Personally.
It is. It keeps you hopping, but really get the good stuff going. And Sabrina is acknowledging, yes, that I'm very active on live streaming. I am going to Social Media Day Denver, during which I'll be live streaming. So I tend to do those stand-up live things. I'm also plotting speaker gigs for myself. I just announced yesterday that I did create a Facebook page for myself, which kind of felt weird, but I did it. And but I do another hashtag called Concealer Chronicles on Instagram, and basically talk about being a woman, mom, boss, and any of those, combination of any of those 3, that it's quite the experience. And any women or moms or bosses in the chat can relate with that.
And how do they find that one real quick?
They can go to Concealer Chronicles, hashtag Concealer Chronicles, or just my Instagram account. It's Rachel Moore RS on Instagram, and check it out. But I try to make it funny and light. Sometimes it's a little more serious. But shoot, I watched Wonder Woman last night. It was awesome. And that's what's going on with that. So those are just a few of the big things going on. And then, of course, Let's Live Stream each week, which is a big lift. And you guys know that because you really help out a lot with that, don't you?
Well, I mean, I got to say like this, we like what we do, and we like working with you, and we like doing Let's Live Stream. So it all kind of came together. And so that's what we're kind of doing. And I'm really glad, like, some of today's surprise, Rachel, was the new graphic, was kind of just because you had no idea. And
I didn't.
How great this was. Jen in the background was setting up the shots. with all the old things and getting them all done, like all that. And Rachel, you had no idea, and it
I
came
didn't.
on, and you're like, "What?"
I love it. Well, Jen knows this too. She used to do this with me. She's like, I'm just gonna try stuff. Is that? I'm like, yeah. And then she'd do stuff. I'm like, look at that. It sounded just like that every time too.
Well, I know. So this is part of our one of the things that we've been working on as a project. Just thinking a little bit of transition, and if you can't tell, we worked really hard to make sure we at least brought over like one color from the old.
Cool.
No, but we really did like it. This was like a fun project, and this was really just a great way for us to kind of bridge, not as like a paradigm shift that we're going away from what we were, but I think it's really just a great way to usher in, like, what's the next thing that we can do? Where can we go? And Rachel, this is really a huge hats off to you of the community and just this Let's Livestream movement that you've created and gotten started. And so this is really just this is just a way that Jen and I can really just say thank you. And I'm sure I speak for everybody that's on the Twitter chat and on the Periscope and in the live stream group and things like that. So
yeah, no, I love that you brought up the next thing, like what's next. That's what, and really that's what I feel too when we talk about this, because you guys, we're talking about all these projects going on and the things we're all doing. And, one of these projects is sitting next to me. She keeps trying to just peek into the live stream. Go ahead and peek in. That's my kid. One of them. But hey, here we are, Rachel. Well, the other one's downstairs, but yeah, with all this stuff, it's always been about what's next. I mean, like I mentioned at the very start, this was a Twitter chat and only a Twitter chat to start. Just started doing scopes because it seemed to make sense. And then Jen came in and it's like, let's make this more. And I was like, hell yeah. But I couldn't do that. And she brought that in. And then you've come on, and I know you and Jen work on VitMug together and have been key for this. And so with that, it doesn't just happen by myself. It never could happen by myself. This was always meant to be something that grew beyond me, right? And that should be any good community should grow beyond the person who may have gotten the push going, right? So again, it's just as many hats off as you may give to me. I can't say enough about, and I don't think I say enough, even though I bring you guys up a lot, but I just can't say too much about you guys and what you've brought to the show and where you're going to help it go in the future.
And that's a really interesting part, the way that you say that, because you bring up right away that it's not just Rachel, in the same way that going forward, it's not just John or Jonathan, depending on how you know me, but
Jonathan.
it's not just that one thing. It really is about the community. And I love catching, I'm watching, I'm trying to keep up with a lot of the Periscope comments that are going on. You guys are doing great. But I wanted to get back to, answer some of the questions and some of the people in the chat. And I was seeing, I do see a lot of these, preparing to launch a product, anticipation of Social Media Day Denver. And that's Joanne Krull. So she's got something going on. I know Terry Johnson said that she's, that she's working on a campaign for a nonprofit. So that's in there. Joe Wilson, he's actually doing a panel, he says, with his cats on his Social Media Day.
Yeah, he's busy, crazy.
I know.
Busy.
You got to schedule him out a couple years in advance. I mean, really, right. And especially if you want Mike to come along. I mean, that's just the way that is.
That's a lot of prep that goes into that. That doesn't just happen.
Right. So, I mean, I really like the fact that it's not just, one of the other parts of this, and one of the reasons why we wrote the question the way we did, is that it's not just what product are you launching, what podcast are you doing? No, what project are you doing? Like, what's something that you're doing that you like? And as a community, that's what's important, because it really is about we, not me.
Well, and you bring up a good point too, is that even when you look at bringing guests on, it's, of course we want to help them, get awareness of their projects, but the whole goal is to help and be a resource. And what gets talked about with that person's project could lead to someone else saying, oh my God, I'm doing something similar. Or we talk about this aspect of it because it's something I'm struggling with or that I've succeeded at that I can help with. And That's why I love the community, where this is all just this, it's a very big cohesive effort by everyone. I mean, everyone who's tweeting right now or chatting into Periscope is offering value to this chat, to this event each week. And then it's not just about that event, it's about the community around it. And I mean, that's why we have all these communities that are, the Facebook group that supports it, people friending each other on Periscope or following each other on Twitter. It really just does become this growing thing, this organic organism of live streaming, I reckon.
Right. And so as what, we see this because we're doing this on live, but as you see the community members, they're producing, they're making their different products or crafts or services or whatever, whatever it is that they're doing, it falls into, it kind of gets us right into question number 2, which is, how is live streaming a part of your life?
Woo.
It's a big question, but it goes first to you, Rachel.
Dude, it's yeah. I know I tweet this too. I'm like, it's a daily consideration. And for me, it's and again, just what I do with my business or with my own efforts and stuff like that. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about live streaming. And I know, and I love Sabrina mentioned that too. We are creative creators. And Joe can relate to this too. Kim can relate to this, Web Girl, all these people that it's changed our lives. It becomes part of your life, like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast. If I'm not live streaming, I'm thinking about it. I'm teaching people or encouraging them how to do it. I'm planning in the next live stream. I'm trying out a platform that's about live streaming, because those seem to be growing. It's like stories from Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook. It's like live streaming is happening everywhere. It just seems like it's or I'm watching one, just like ingesting one. So it's a daily, sometimes hourly consideration, because it's just something that's so huge and pervasive in our content and what we're consuming as watchers. So yeah, it's every minute. And again, throw back to you, and I know everybody's tweeting this too, it's a pretty big mainstay in your life too, I think.
No, it really is. And, I was kind of like thinking, like, how do I answer this? Like, being, like, how do you answer this? Like, I mean, I think about or do a live stream every day.
Yeah.
Like every day. It's not just, like I check the mail because it's Monday. I'm sure people check mail more often than that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like a once a thing, like you mow your lawn, or, you go out to see the ball game or something. I do this, like there's family for me, there's coffee, and then there's live streaming. Like, and it's a really close number 2 and 3 there,
Right.
It's an everyday thing, because it really is a part of how I think, what I do with the business, and also how I have fun. I love connecting with people outside of just, hey, this is how we market, or this is how Facebook ads work, or here's the latest hashtag trending stuff. Look, I can only take so much of that stuff before I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Right. Well, Jen, and you're on too. What about you?
I don't think I go so far as Jonathan will go, putting live streaming third in their order. Maybe I go even further. I'm thinking about live streaming pretty much on a daily basis, because that's how the editorial calendar builds out. That's how you have to consider it, because live streaming has a strategy. It's part of a bigger marketing strategy. So I'm thinking about it, but I'm only live streaming once or twice a week. And that's what I'm comfortable with. And that's where I feel like I can balance my personal life and my business life, and this passion that takes up a huge chunk of your brain power, and sometimes your physical being on camera. I may seem like an extrovert, but really I'm an introvert. I don't recharge my batteries by being with a bunch of people. I recharge my batteries by being by myself, having quiet time, listening to, strangely enough, classical music. I know, right? Y'all can freak out about that right now, but that's how I find my center. And so, but it's a good perspective. It's a good, so many people out there think that they have to be the extrovert in order to be on camera. You don't. You just have to convey passion.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't agree with that more, because I think so many people do feel like they have to be extroverts, and you so don't. You guys, there are people who are sharing their lives. Sabrina's saying she's a super introvert, but she can't stay away from that camera. It really is a way to connect. And who was I telling that like this last week? Just how it's kind of a brand new hybrid of connection where it's not like going and networking in a physical place. It's not social media where you're totally removed. You could be all anonymous and cruel sometimes from behind a keyboard. And it's not just broadcasting out without getting any feedback. And it really has created this new dynamic of, and I hate using the word dynamic because that gets overused, but it does create that new, I don't know, world of being able to have this unique way of talking to people. And it's cool. And God, do you guys remember back all the community we built, and new people we met through Blab? I said it, live streaming and stuff like that. It was just this whole new thing. And now we can't live without it. It's like a drug.
I mean, we've literally seen the rise and fall of some people's careers in it. Can I say it like that?
Absolutely.
Yes, you totally can say it like that.
I think that's really being honest where, I mean, think about like, and I know it's not live stream, but it almost feels that way, but Vine, but had that very much that in the moment of a feel to it very much that way too.
We lost you for a second.
You lost me. Okay, well, I'm back. I don't know. Maybe I need to pour coffee on my computer.
Oh God!
Or just on your internets.
Or just
on
the internet.
That would have the opposite impact you're going for.
It's just no. But I think there's a lot to be said for what the live stream has brought, and that's brought it's brought a lot of tangibility to people on a very personal level. It's not just now I can see how messy some superstars' closet is.
Yeah.
I actually want to be able to see how, Rachel, how you're doing this week, and Jen, how your dogs are, what your dogs are up to. That's the kind of stuff that live stream is actually bringing, that to me on a personal level brings a value.
Jonathan wants me to put a puppy cam up on Twitch of my dogs because he gets sheer amusement from watching them bark. And surprisingly, they're in the room and they're being very good. I'm scared. I'm scared for you all.
Ross Brand, by the way, just hopped in Periscope. Yay!
Hello,
I love Ross. That's again speaking back to the friends we made in live streaming when it first started. Just love them. Some of these people, I'm like, these are my peeps. I love them.
Well, I think about that regularly. How many times Blab is mentioned, and how many times people reference back to it, and how much of a foundation that was for so many live streamers, up and down the chain too. Not just people at sharing this on a micro influencer level, but at a broader, very highly influential level. There's a lot of connections that were made on Blab.
Totally. Well, and I think I met both of you. Or I met Jen. I think I met you through this chat, but Jonathan, I'd seen you on Blab too. So it just has really carried forward. If you'd asked me 2 years ago, I'm like, would you be working on a weekly live stream with two people who are really good with Wirecast? To be like, A, what's Wirecast? B, why? That's like an extra big, huge project. That's a lot to take on. And C, who are these people? And now I know you guys, and I can't imagine my lives without you. Oh, God. My lives. Wow, I just went plural there. Sorry.
My lives. Maybe that's what live stream is doing. No, don't do that. Don't have one life on live stream and another. No, don't do that. It's too complicated.
It really
By the way, I think Mario Armstrong is in Periscope, by the way. Just pointing it out.
Mario.
Which is interesting because I know I mentioned him in a tweet later in this discussion.
Maybe
it's so cool that he's here.
Well, I can't wait for him to come on either Jonathan's show or this show in the future. So we're really excited about what Mario is bringing to live streaming and how he's bringing it to social TV and making that blend happen.
I love social TV.
I love the concept of it. All right, I'm going to pop off screen and go do the rest of the button pushing because we're probably getting close to question 3.
We are actually on question. We are on question number 3 now.
Question trace.
All right. How does team play a part of your projects, Rachel? And then also, while she's answering, everybody else, I'd really love for you guys to share what your experience is as far as like, how does team actually play a part? Because a lot of the people that we come in contact with, and it's in our circles, they're solopreneurs.
Right. And it's so there needs to be a new way to say this. There's no I in team. But it's so true. Anyone who thinks that they're getting somewhere under their own power because they're just such cool shit is full of shit. And just trying to be straight up, because you don't do any of this by yourself. Well, and I mentioned in Periscope earlier, I could totally have started this Twitter chat and gone on Periscope with 0 people watching. I could totally do that.
Mhm.
It's going to be crap. It takes everyone. It takes the people who show up and say, "Hey, I'd like to chat about this topic. Yes, I will be here," even if it was one person. And it also, again, takes people telling you, have you tried doing this? Jen was that person where she's like, can we maybe produce this a little more? We could do some graphics. I'm like, oh my God, really? We could totally do that. Let's use Periscope producer. Like Mario's in the chat. It took people, he didn't get to do an entrepreneur live stream show by himself. He had an amazing team helping him. Ross Brand was there doing like some red carpet interviews. Chris Strub was attending all the time and sharing it out. Jen got to go. But it takes all these people, whether they're working behind the scenes or they're actually the audience and community you're cultivating. You just don't do any of this by yourself. And I seriously can't, and who'd want to? I'm the extrovert. I get so bored when it's just me. And I am not the smartest person in the room. My cat actually is in the room and he's pretty smart. But and Joe Wilson would say the same, like my cat's pretty smart too. But I would never want to come at something saying, well, I'm the only one who has the greatest idea or answer for any of this stuff, so my way goes and none of you have anything to contribute. That's stupid. It's always smarter to include more people, and the team makes it happen. Whether you call your team a community or an audience or a staff or group, whatever you call it, your tribe, it's all the same thing. It's your team and they help you do it. And Jonathan, I'll throw it back to you if I may. But I'm sure you could sound off on that too.
I'd reiterate a lot of those same points. And I was thinking about, because I happen to know the questions ahead of time. And so when this question was coming up, it was more of like, and I'll be honest with you, like, and if you guys catch it, I don't know if you can catch it in the in the show notes there where retweets and stuff like that. But one of the things that I've had to learn about, like I've had to be able to get to that point where, because my personality really is, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Like I've always had that, like, I'll do it. I'll just do it. I work a little bit harder. I work a little bit longer. I work a little bit smarter. I will do it. And the older I've gotten, both in life and in business, I have found that there is so much more strength in team than it is with me. I can only work a certain number of hours a day. I only want to work a certain number of hours in the day. I can only learn a certain amount of things. As much as like I could probably really push and like produce the show and ask questions. Guess what? There's a certain amount of quality that suffers, but by having a team, having a guest on, having community out there, you guys ask better questions, you guys come up with better answers. And there's so much to be said, with those things. And it kind of reminds me a little bit when we talk about community, and we can kind of actually segue a little bit into this. We'll before we get to question number 4, which is going to come up, and that's I'm really actually excited about question number 4. But question number 3, how does team play a part in your projects? I bet I haven't even pulled up everybody's responses yet. I can only imagine that people are saying, look, community counts.
Oh yeah.
Team is the way to go. I mean, it's kind of funny. I say that, like, for this year, like everybody picks a word, but like one of those things that I wanted to put top of mind was that word of build a team.
Yeah.
Build a team.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people are tweeting, they're talking about co-hosts. They're talking about their community who watch or hang out with them during their live streams and broadcasts. Friends. I love Joanne's answer. Joanne, seriously, that right there. You might have the crappiest live stream happen. The tech's awful. You flub, oh God, nobody watched, or one person watched, they trolled me. Guess who can be there to pick up the pieces? Your buds. Your friends will be like, look, it's okay. You're still awesome. You're going to do better next time. Learn it up and move forward. But all of these people contribute, to where they just help you face that next day. that next broadcast and still keep pushing forward. Nobody's going to do this stuff perfect, you guys. You get your kid video bombing your live stream, or he walks through and sneezes huge. It's like, well, I can't really send this live stream. But you have all these people that contribute to it. I love what people are saying about it's not, I mean, nobody in live streaming, if they are just like, I'm here to broadcast and that's it, it's like, you need to go find another place to be then, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, how do they say, like, perfect people aren't welcome here.
Oh God, I love
Can
that.
I say that? Is that
Yes.
that's okay?
You're
Perfect
not welcome.
people, you're not welcome here. There's another group for you somewhere else. You go over there. Right. Come on. Right. How many times has your cat walked across either your lap right in front of you or hopped
every
up on the window
time?
behind?
Well, yeah, that brings up that one time, which I just love, when I was a guest on Jonathan's live stream and my cat decided to get himself stuck in this window right over here. And I'm like, I gotta move. I gotta get him out.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be happy. And then you were like, I will just switch to the other shop and it's good. Well, and transitions back to community. Just like this, it's a Twitter chat, it's a live stream show on Periscope. We both have Facebook groups too, that contribute to the communities of live streaming. Anyone in the chat who's a member of a Facebook group about live streaming, and it doesn't have to be Let's Live Stream, raise your hand, tag it, talk about it in your tweet or your Periscope comment. So we've got Let's Live Stream for this particular chat and community. Jonathan's got Live Talk Nation, which is, again, and probably has a ton of the same crossover of people. I was just in there today and saw a ton of people I know from this community and this Facebook group. So we all got that. I know there's tons of other ones that just strictly speak with live streaming or talk about it. So we all have these communities that cross over. We see the posts that we're sharing and our shows that we're sharing with each other and the communities and the friends that we're making. So they're all a huge part of what happens each week and each day.
Yeah. And it is one of those essentials of, of having that place where you can bounce ideas off of. And in the Periscope and on Twitter, sometimes it is a little harder to connect with that, especially with the Periscope, because it's very much right in the moment. Twitter, it's very fast paced. And one of the things that having a Facebook group does, and it still does, and I really hope it doesn't change, at least this aspect, is that you can put something out there. Like what was today over in Live Talk Nation today, I put serious question. Is it live streaming 2 words or live streaming 1 word? Asking for a friend. And I put it out there and I was like, it's a fun question. It's because I type it so much and I keep getting, I'm tired of, what the real motivation is. I'm tired of seeing the little hash marks underneath that tell me I've spelled the word wrong.
Well, I just think that's a computer issue. I'm saying, I mean, it's almost like Jiggy. Jiggy is now in the dictionary, the Oxford Dictionary, and so I'm sure if I typed in Jiggy, my computer would be like, "That's not a word." I'm like, "Well, sorry, no, kind of is." So that might just be a learning thing. I actually just encouraged too, Doug from Frameable Faces, one of our past guests and favorite Periscopers. They're hilarious, by the way. Oh my God, their morning shows with him and Allie, Doug and Allie, are phenom. They actually were telling me the other day I had a great ass, which was funny because nobody sees that ever. It was just funny. And I said I should make an Instagram account for just that. And then it went on from there. It devolved, but it was fun.
Devolved.
Devolved. It devolved. But yeah, all of us we can all join these groups. I encourage Doug, actually, I said you should go check out Live Talk Nation, because that is, again, an all-encompassing live streaming group. It's live talk. It's live streaming and talking. So yes,
it's not business live streaming. It's not market live streaming. It's not gaming live streaming. It's live talk. It's where we all get together and we talk about stuff. And there is such a wide breadth of people that have joined that.
Yeah. Faux show.
Oh no. Let's go.
I said faux show.
Oh,
faux
there
show.
You go.
Faux
hey,
show.
Let's go on to question number 4. I think it just launched. I see it in there.
I do too.
All right. What technology partners are most important for your live streaming? Now, you've done a lot of live streaming and you've used a few and consistently, not just like FOMO a couple of, but you use consistently a number of different live platforms and technologies. from different cameras, mobile devices. I mean, you guys did Summit Live from on site, and that was a tech cobble together, but you made it work. And I mean, it was fun. I know I pushed the buttons on the other side, but like it was fun.
It was so, oh my God. Jen, I'm sure Jen could sound off on this too, or can relate. I mean, she and I were on location. I will say, and I don't have an iPhone, guys, but I believe in Mac products. That thing would not have happened without her iPhone. My Samsung phone at the time, it was a Note 4, was not having it, and she was able to get the very limited Wi-Fi that was available in that basement. But yeah, God, tech is huge to this. Obviously, none of us can do stuff without. Ross Brand just mentioned phone and computer. Yep. I will just share. I've got a Lenovo Awesome Sauce gaming laptop, which lets me do a lot of stuff. I know Jen could speak to this too, because you got to have a good computer with a lot of oomph to be able to handle that. Gaming laptops and computers tend to be able to handle all this video stuff.
Where in the computer do they keep the oomph?
I believe it's right next to the CPU.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if it was something like you smeared on it.
That would be
put on it.
awesome. Oh, it's kind of like pouring coffee on it. I didn't put the oomph on my laptop this morning.
See, this is where I know I need to come in, because it's derailing very quickly.
It's not.
It totally is. And it actually wasn't even an iPhone that I was using. It was either my Samsung Note, I think I had a 3, or the Google Pixel XL that I have, which is all Android based, that saved us in at Summit Live. I think it was just I'm not sure who your carrier is. Maybe it was
T-Mobile. That must have been what.
I have Verizon, and we all know how Verizon touts the greatest coverage.
It does.
It had coverage at the bottom of the Biltmore.
It had coverage where we needed it, right? Oh my gosh.
That's what's important.
Archon mounts, someone mentioned them in a tweet. That's totally true. Archon mounts they have a ton of stuff that lets you be able to do all the kind of live streaming with multi-devices. I actually ordered a selfie light. Joe Wilson, I ordered my own selfie light. So my cat too can look amazing. Yes, I know, right? Microphones, a big deal. I love this ATR 2100. It's mine. I love my Logitech webcam, which I'm looking at right now, which is insanely better than my laptop's webcam. So like that. Platforms. So I know Joycaster has been very key for us. Being able to grab this stream and let other people so easy, just like kind of an email and a click and approval and you're gone, and you can broadcast from someone else's handle, which is really cool. Wirecast, I think makes a kind of a big deal for you guys. You want to talk about that a little bit? Because that is not my area.
Jonathan can talk about Wirecast. I want to talk about Joycaster, honestly. I can't thank Rudy Ellis, who is the CEO of Joycaster, enough, because it's changed the way we can produce shows, honestly. It takes so much taxation off of our units, our computers, because these are our everyday computers. We're not an AV company. We don't have thousands of dollars worth of technology, but Joycaster, on top of what Rachel said, you can easily ask somebody permission to stream. And I did that with Mario Armstrong. It was a simple email. He said yes. I picked his platform. I streamed out Wine Antics Live when he was on there to his platform. It worked seamlessly. But just being able to have multiple platforms that we can stream to, and it doesn't taxate our computers. It's in the cloud. The cloud of all of the streaming bandwidth makes such a difference for us.
Yeah, and I know I've said it the same way. It's like, I only trust Switchboard to broadcast my shows out when I need to get to multiple destinations. It's so easy. It's so reliable. There's no other, I don't think of another name when I'm thinking about, I need that service. So
that's cool.
Really big shout out to them. So,
well, let's not gloss over the these two people, Vitmug. You guys are creating kind of this, we talked about individual platforms and tools, but you guys are bringing this all together in one package that really helps, someone who was just kind of saying, hey, I've got a topic and the community and a broadcast I want to do. And you guys say, oh, well, let's just take that and make it awesome. So Vitmug obviously is huge, and you guys being the partnership behind that is fantastic. And I literally am surrounded by you right now. And I love that because you do support me from both sides. You're just like, let's make this amazing. You guys do that for multiple things. You guys are doing the productions for Social Media Day Denver, teasing out the guests for that. And that's just like one other project I know about, but you guys are making some magic happen for people.
We also do virtual tasting for another client, which is a lot of fun, and that's my wheelhouse, doing the wine tasting, but he's doing it for a wine club. And it's really interesting the way live streaming and taking the production fun, let's call it fun, because I like the production angle, but not everybody does. But taking that off of a host's plate makes a big difference. And
Totally.
that's, as we look at live streaming and we look at it becoming more professional, these things are going to become more important in your live streaming and overall marketing strategy.
Well, you make it stand apart for sure, right? I mean, again, just the graphics are amazing, and you guys, every week we get someone new. Like, well, where are you? How this looks really cool, and they just want to know how are you doing that, and I'm like, these guys right there.
This design, the redesign, which thank you for your reaction. It was almost as good as the Christmas one. If you guys should go back and watch the Christmas special where I pulled out every graph I could find of snow banks and mountains and all types of stuff. That was a priceless reaction.
You guys know I had a prior director of mine called me Ziploc because he's like, I just know every single thing you're thinking at every second. And as soon as I saw those graphics, I'm just like, oh my God.
But today, this is Jonathan. This is Jonathan's design, and awesome. I'm so impressed, and I love the colors, and I love the way that he took a background that I thought was kind of plain and boring, and he is now the Photoshop wizard.
That's a good skill to have.
Speaking
of technology that we need to have.
Yes.
I'm really glad you guys like it because we're trying to have fun.
Yes.
It's great. You're getting so many applause icons, emojis
nice.
in Periscope. They're just like lots of applauding. It's awesome.
Well, I think one of the hardest things is to find something that it's easy, it's fun to play with, but it also just flat out works. I mean, I look for a lot of the utilitarian point of view. Like, okay, can you actually read the text?
Right.
Can you actually see the picture? Can you actually tell what the people are talking about? Those kinds of things. But it is getting that, and that's one of the things that I think that both Jen and I really enjoy with working in VitMug is to make that happen for different clients for different things. And not everybody, like we said, not everybody's into marketing.
No, and you should be able to, like, if you want to do a good broadcast and you just need to offload the things you are not good at, that's exactly what we've been doing. And you guys and seriously, you guys kind of freaked me out again today because you did all the lifting on this. I basically just got my own tweet scheduled. Jonathan.
I don't care that Jonathan. I love that Jonathan cringes a little bit inside every time that is said, and that Rachel is purely populating it all over the interwebs. Thank you, Rachel.
I didn't even try that time either, but
nope.
I did. I was freaking out. I asked 3 different times, like, "Are you sure I don't need to be doing anything else today?"
Let's be honest. It was more like 12.
It was. I was just like so. And back to Jonathan's point, where I'm one of those people. I'm always the doer, and I'm like, I just feel really weird about not really doing anything else.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it does mess with you when you're in the role of it, and we've talked about team before, and and I did want to put out there, and I think we've talked about this before, but if you're interested in being a part of the show, maybe as more of a support staff, or somebody that's helping moderate, or even sometimes just generate content, or some ideas and things like this, absolutely just message one of us. Say, hey, look, I'd like to be a part of this. What's available? What can I do? And this is the things that I enjoy doing. Let us know, because as I was saying, I think earlier today, I'm a real guy. You can just reach out to me, message me. It's not like some faraway thing. And I don't remember, do we actually have a link for someone to sign up? Do we still have that, or we haven't merged that over yet, have we?
We haven't merged it over, which might lead nicely into the next question, maybe.
What is okay? So we're on question 5, right?
We are on question 5.
5. If yes, 5. This is 5. So the question is, what is something you learned from live stream?
And Let's Live Stream in particular?
Particularly,
wow,
this show. What's something you have gathered? And I will, before you even answer, I'll just give you kind of a breather. I would really like to know, both on Periscope and on Twitter, what is something that you have actually learned or something that you have benefited from in this show? And you can't say, I like live stream. But give me something that's real. Give me something. What have you guys really learned? What's something you benefit from Let's Live Stream?
So yes, guys, think beyond. Get specific, because these are things that help this team figure out what to provide in the future, right? We can do surveys all the live long day, but I mean, it really comes down to you know right now. You'd be like, something I learned from this that I didn't know before. I did meet more people that I didn't realize were so in on live streaming. Zayla is in the chat. I love her. I didn't know her before this chat. Again, live streaming, just bringing people together. I didn't know who she was, and got to know her. Alfredo was another one. Katerina I've met. So a lot of people that I don't know that I would have come across had this chat not started. And then again, just what I love Twitter with all my fiber. I just love it. But I have learned about people who have these amazing shows that they're doing on topics they know about that I don't know about. And I think they're doing a fabulous job. And plus they're all learning different things. Twitch is a major one. I don't know that I realized that Twitch had such a big live streaming influence. And guys, I'm a gamer. I do video games. I don't play in a lot of online communities. I'm too scared to, frankly. I just know I'm not that good. I'm not like someone I'd be like, ooh, I can go ahead against 10 people and outshoot them. I just like playing games, but I wasn't really privy to Twitch being a huge thing. And a lot of people aren't, which I love when we talk about Twitch on the show, because everybody's like, oh my God, really? Really? And guys, they're tons of people out there in Twitch, and that's one of the goals for the show, is to try to get more people on. But yeah, just different platforms, different trends, and focuses on live streaming. Churches, not really realizing, and Rudy had mentioned that too about churches. Just that was a huge, big first adopter of live streaming. Had no clue. So yeah, I just love these aspects of it that make me think outside of my 4 walls. And that's a huge thing I've learned from this community and this stuff.
And that is a really important aspect of it, that he as maybe as focused as there are other people that are really, really focused. They only use live stream for a particular thing, whether it's for their branding or for the business and other things. But there's a lot of things that you can do with it. And I mean, I'll just read what I was thinking. Is like when I wrote the question, just kind of thinking back, like, oh, it was like, what have I learned? Actually, I've learned that live streaming, and particularly what Let's Live Stream has really shown me in very, very tangible ways, is that it's more than just tech, and it's more than just personality. This is what I really like about the show, is there is a lot of blend of the two things together. Yeah. There is a lot of tech behind this. I mean, this is not like we don't just show up 5 minutes before we go live and go like, hey guys, do you want to do a show today? This is a little bit involved, but at the same time, it's not just us just going like, okay, how geeky can we get? We're really trying to figure out what's the best way to communicate today's lesson, today's idea, this how to, it's all of that together. Yeah. And that's what Let's Live Stream showed me.
Yeah, and I one idea too that which is a joke that Cammie put in Periscope, saying live streaming with Jesus, that I actually replied. I'm like, yeah, but which platform though? Which platform would Jesus pick? That might actually be a fun chat one day, to say, okay, let's pluck some famous people out of history. If they were here with us today and we're going to live stream, which platform would they use? Ha ha. Talking about the differences between the platforms and stuff. But I think that would be interesting. It would be interesting, and so I want to make sure we touch on this. And again, I'm letting you guide this more today, and I'm trying not to usurp. So, just say, Rachel, shut up if you need me to. But with learning about live streaming, one thing else I did learn was all the different communities out there. I learned about your community, Live Talk Nation, and I learned about, there are tons of Facebook groups and communities for live streaming, which might kind of lead into talking about some ways that we talked about what's next and things moving forward and stuff. I want to kind of throw it back to you and let's talk about that.
So where to go from here was kind of that was, I think, one of the big conversation turners between us, and just saying, what's the next step for Let's Live Stream?
Yep.
And, I've been live streaming since Periscope. Since Periscope came out.
Yeah.
So early days of like that. And, we've gone through Periscope and Blab, and we've seen all these things come up and down and things. And now we're here. And the question is, what now? Where to go now? And one of the big things, and this is one of the reasons why this show is, I think it's I like the topic of the show, is because it really is about team, and it's about bringing community together. And one of the discussions was, well, what are we going to do about our Facebook group? Because we had talked about it and gone back and forth. And I think the general consensus was, I think for Live Talk Nation just to be a center point for where we're going to go next. And right away, I tell you, my heartstrings were just, well, what about Let's Live Stream Group? And just being very careful that we make sure that, hey, Let's Live Stream has been a community unto itself in a very unique sense. Honestly, it's the only show that I know that came exclusively out of a Twitter chat.
Right.
There's been others that kind of go hand in hand. They've kind of just meander. This was like a very natural, very quick growth. But one of the things we also noticed that there was a lot of overlap between the groups.
Totally.
And what we felt was that one of the best ways to serve that community and both communities, and actually bring Let's Live Stream into something that I think would maybe give it a better foundation and a really great stepping off point, which was to start bringing over and allowing the Facebook group members of Let's Live Stream to now be a part, and to start migrating all of the activities at Let's Live Stream, and just let Live Talk Nation be just kind of that home foundation for everybody, to be at.
Yeah, totally. And just to ping off that too, I know I mentioned this toward the top, I kind of referred to it. I may have been the person who got the hashtag going and started doing a weekly thing, getting some tweets out, created a Facebook group. That all is moot unless people actually join in and become a part of that community. So it grows, and it's been growing. And we also talked about projects we're working on, and I will kind of just reiterate what I mentioned to you and to Jonathan about a month ago. I can't stop. I'm sorry. I am one person, and again, the community should not be about me. And this chat hasn't been about me. It's been other people helping make it grow. And I have been really feeling like this community and this weekly chat and broadcast has the capacity to grow bigger. And I definitely don't want to stand in the way of that, if that makes sense, guys. And I don't think I have been yet, but I am feeling it. I know if it's on my own power, I can't do it. You guys, you and Jennifer have been key to making this work. To me, and we talked about this, it makes a very natural segue to grow these communities together. And so, guys, I think what we're talking about here is that we've got a lot of overlap. We've got a lot of these people who, you're in the community of Let's Live Stream and working together and really enjoying and learning from each other. Let this be a cohesive movement going forward. And I think to that effect, you, Jonathan, and Jen are going to have larger role, as in major role in Let's Live Stream going forward, right?
Yeah. Kind of going forward, and this is what this actually gets us right into the last question, and question number 6, if I can segue, because we will answer that, which is what topic or guest would because I'm now in the South, I can say it like this, what topic or guest would y'all like to see in the future episode?
Y'all.
No, what would you guys like to see as far as guests or topics or things? And this is really just us as a team, just asking you as
Mm-hmm.
you guys help guide the show, help guide what is the interest? What are you guys out there? What is that thing? Do you want to see
Right.
more tech, more interviews, more, like what? We'd love to hear what you think.
I can kick off an answer. And I was really cool again to see Mario Armstrong in the broadcast in Periscope. I'd love to see Mario on this show. I know he was hauling booty to get himself all ready for the Entrepreneur Never Settle show from their Facebook page, and I saw him on several shows. And we had a full calendar at the time. I'm like, I got to get him on. But now that that's happened, and the hope is that it would continue, I think he'd be great to have on. I mean, he really did take this to a next level by getting it on. Mehul is saying in Twitter, get Chris Nolan on talking about Dunkirk. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. I mean, it's more movie, it's not live streaming, but that'd be interesting anyway. I would love to see Mario Armstrong on here. I would definitely, and talked about earlier, love to see more Twitch people, more gamer people, more people doing creatives. We've had a couple chefs on here too, but I'm a huge gamer. I love hearing about how people are creating content with that. And it's a big deal. Millions of dollars of advertising getting poured into people's Twitch gaming shows, which blows my mind. That's a huge thing to look at, and to see that the opportunities over there and that Twitch is a viable platform. So I would love to see more of that. How about y'all?
I have opinions.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's
don't worry, all the Periscope comments, I'm writing a list.
I was hoping someone else was catching that. I'm like,
oh yeah,
my
so
God,
I'm trying.
Comedy gold happening in Periscope.
So, well, yes. I believe everybody in Periscope thinks that Jesus should be part of the show because he has at least 20 new handles.
Not sure
based
he's back
on...
yet, but okay.
No, it's a really fun string of comments. If Jesus had a Twitter handle, what would it be? I think I still like Terry Webgirl TJ's water to wine at water to wine. I love that.
I just added one. I wept.
But I second Mario Armstrong, and he's already agreed. Like, I did the ask on his show. He's already agreed to either be on Jonathan's show or Let's Live Stream. So we're gonna make something there happen and reach out and figure out how his show has changed his life and what it means for live streaming. And I think that's a completing the circle kind of thing for us as a live stream community. Chris Cubby was mentioned, and I know Jonathan seconded that because Jonathan and I both, and you, Rachel, know Chris Cubby. It's just a matter of reaching out. Chris Strubb.
Wait, hold on one second. Wait 1 second. Do you remember we actually have a screenshot of Jonathan reacting to Chris Cubby being on camera? That was fanboy over the place.
That I wasn't expecting that. You guys didn't prep me for that. You don't drop stuff like that on me.
That was awesome.
We just redesigned Let's Live Stream today and dropped that on Rachel, and you can't handle Chris Cubby?
No.
Apparently not.
No.
Who's the diva in here? Just saying. Who's the diva? But yes, love to have Chris Cubby on here. Chris Strubb, has he been on here?
Chris, oh God, I'm trying to remember if he was on in the very early days, but I don't think I wasn't able to get him on. He was actually in the midst of his 50-state live streaming tour. It's
like he's busy, but he's got a book out now, so I think that would be a great discussion to have. He's got people bringing in video comments about his book too, so he's got people reading it. Yeah. That would be exciting to hear a little bit more about. I also put down Roberto Blake because we met him at Summit Live and had an amazing karaoke and Korean dinner with him. I feel a little bit closer now that we sang Gangster's Paradise.
Well, there you go. I don't know what better of a segue you can go to get somebody on your show. It's like, hey, could you be on my show? Wait, what?
Do you remember that time when we sang karaoke together and we were singing Gangster's Paradise? Let's recreate that on this thing called Let's Live Stream.
Roberto Blake would be amazing.
But he's on really big, I can't remember if it was Forbes or Entrepreneur, but he was like one of the top 10 YouTubers to watch out for. The man's doing something right.
He's so great too. I mean, he is just so forthcoming with, let me help you.
Yes.
And it's just such great tips. So I'd love to have Roberto on here. He'd be so fun.
Yeah, and Todd Bergen.
Bergen, yeah.
Yes. So he's this underlier where he's been like really messing with his tech. He's got a solid system going on of podcasting gear, live streaming gear, and he's just now getting it all working. And when he really blows up, it's going to shock the heck out of a lot of people. I mean,
Right.
he's got more tools and toys than both Jonathan and I have combined.
Yeah.
And that's not a lie.
You know, I might give you, Jeff Adams might be someone to give him a run for his money. That guy, Jennifer, have you seen his, and I have to say Jennifer, I'm going to say Jonathan. That's why I'm saying Jennifer.
I know. I like that it's not become like a merge of names. It's Jonathan and then Jonathan.
If I say Jen, it just becomes Jonathan. But I swear, I saw him. He did like a big picture of his studio. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it was legit.
I think that's part of his living room. Like, I legitimately think his studio is taking over the dining room. Like, it's that much of a center part of his life.
It's phenomenal. That's all I'm saying.
He's got the real deal. He's got the equipment set up in there, and he knows it. And this is, I'll say this, you know, we can say this on record before we move on, but he is not just, I just had some money, so I'm going to buy some tech.
Oh.
Right.
He knows how to use it, and he's actually really fun to listen to.
He's very fun.
Ever listen to a show? I know he's on Be Live, but he does his own stuff. But I mean, he's on
Periscope.
He's doing all types of things.
He is. He's got a very creative guy, but yeah.
Three more people. I want to get into the people that are using live streaming for their business on a very low level. And this is something that I talk about in the other project I'm working on, Ladies Go Live. There are a lot of women that are selling LuLaRoe. There's a lot of women that are the Pearl Girls. Those are women that are on a very basic business level, and they're trying and successfully live streaming, like having hundreds of people watching their live streams. That just blows my mind, the kind of community they've built, that people show up and buy products from them live. What?
Yeah. And that's so great. It's so important to have those voices on there, because that can inspire more small business people, entrepreneurs to be like, well, I can go live and do this because I believe in what I'm doing. We need more of them.
More. And is it Andrew Healy that does Wirecast? Is he the host, Jonathan? Yeah, I wasn't sure about his last name, but I'd like to turn the tables on him and get him on Let's Livestream, because he's used to being the host as these great Wirecast tutorials. I'd love to put him on the hot seat here. Not to say that we would grill him in any terms, but it's very different, as you realize, Rachel, when you're not in control.
Oh, I'm not in control. It's really weird. It's so and this is the second time today. I'm like, I am just not doing anything. Is this how life? Is this real life? I know.
You sure? For the 15th time?
No.
Well, I mean,
I think
really
this is surreal.
kind of brings us. I mean, we've what I've liked really about today's show. I know we did less questions. It was because we wanted a couple extra minutes to kind of chat and bring on, and you know, we're just going to totally skip to ask your last questions because we've already done that. That was like the entire show. It was always well, hey, what do you think? But, you know, Rachel, and again, you know, as kind of going forward, this, you know, Let's Livestream has been, you know, something that you had started and just sit now. I mean, it's over a year. We just celebrated your 1 year, and I couldn't count how many guests and how many episodes or how many tweets you've had. I just don't have the technical ability to make the interwebs give me that information. But I do know that you've been doing this for quite a while, and you have such a wonderful rapport with your audience and being able to reach out. And if I can speak on many people's behalf, thank you for giving up your time and your expertise and just helping us have such a great time live streaming.
Thank you. Guys, it's been a labor of love for sure. So much time and work goes into stuff like this, but God, you see the value of it. When I even started my business, but throughout, I mean, when you go forward with like a motivation to help people be better, including yourself, you can't go wrong, right? It's not for personal gain. I never got paid for this. It's just something we wanted to do. I did get to meet a hell of a lot of people I wouldn't have met. It was really cool. And you guys know this too. Once you do live stream shows or projects like this, where you really put the energy in and the community builds, you get to talk to people and you can make the ask. And please, guys, keep asking. Ask people to be on your shows. I got to meet Ryan Bell. Hello. I got to meet Kathy Hackle on live stream. You know, I got to, and what was even more fun, it wasn't just me meeting her. It was you guys meeting her. It was Jonathan and Jennifer meeting those people too, and being able to say, hey, by the way. And you just really do create these connections. I got to meet Doug from Framble Faces, right? But and then I can't wait till then in the future I get to meet these people in person when I have the opportunities, because I've met some other people like Joe Wilson too in person, and you just love it. So it's been a wonderful opportunity for me too. So anything I've given to you guys have given me back 10, 100 times more. It's been so rewarding, and I love it. And I love Wednesdays for that reason.
Well, again, thank you very much, Rachel. And thank you everybody for watching us. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Periscope if you're watching us there, on Twitter, because if you're doing the one, you really should be doing the other, because this is a live streamed Twitter chat. So you have to follow one and the other to really catch all the action. And then for the not Wednesday times, join us on our Facebook group. And since we're moving to the new one, just go search for Live Talk Nation. I will have a URL ready for next week that I can give you with a really much better CTA than I'm going to give you now. But guys, make sure you do join. We'll just invite you in, because this really is an opportunity for us to get to know each other better, not just in business, but also in life. And guys, we really do look forward to next week's, which is going to be Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll figure out what we're going to be doing for a topic for next week. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for being a part of us. And thank you guys for being a part of our community.